Hi guys, I'm Mr. Göktaş and this is the English reading lesson for 5th grade students. Today we will be looking at the book called Igor's Lab of Fear, Maze Monster. But before we start, I want all of you to check the Word documents that we sent you through WhatsApp. In the document you will find some words that are used in the book. It is important for you to know the meanings of those words before we start. You can pause the video here, go and check the words, and then you can continue when you are ready. So let's start.
Igor's Lab of Fear, Maze Monster by Michael Dahl, illustrated by Andy Catley. Who goes there? Go away. You'll set off one of my traps. Watch your step.
So, in my own, you can click on the word and say View in Dictionary, which allows you to find the meaning of the word that you chose in English. For example, if you don't know the meaning of the word trap, it means a device for catching animals, something by which someone is caught or stopped by surprise, a light one-horse carriage with springs, a device that allows something to pass through but keeps other things out. It's also used as a verb as well. It is to catch or be caught in a trap, to put or get in a place or position from which escape is not possible. It basically helps you to understand the book itself. So let's continue.
Step, or you'll end up in a pit of rats. Oh, I'm sorry. It's just you again. Wonderful. Come in, come in. What? A pit filled with rats? Oh, I was only joking. I'd never put poor little rats in a pit. Hee. Speaking of...
So for example, the word pit, I don't think you would know this word. It means, let's find the best one. A small hole or dent on a surface, so basically it is used to catch stuff, like in this case rats.
Of rats, do you see that wedge of cheese? There's an interesting story behind it. Chapter 1. Break-in. Ned and Victor were near a parking lot. They hid behind some bushes. They watched a nearby building. Men and women left, got into their cars, and drove away. Soon, the last car left the parking lot. The two boys left their hiding place. They ran to the side of the building. There, said Ned. He pointed up at a window. Let's try it, Victor said. Victor gave Ned a boost. Ned gripped the windowsill. He pulled on the glass. The window opened easily. Its hinges were smooth and quiet. Those scientists never lock them, said Ned. Both boys quickly climbed inside. Chapter 2. The Strange Room. What is all this stuff? Asked Victor. Inside, the boys looked around. Weird glass containers sat on tables. Plastic tubes ran around the entire room. Several machines...
For example, entire. Does any one of you know the meaning of the word entire? Let's check it. It means a complete in all parts of respects. So entire means full of something.
Had colorful wires. Metal rods stuck out from them. The walls were covered with computer screens. What do they do with all this stuff? Victor asked. Experiments, said Ned. You know, like in science class.
So the word experiment, scientists do experiments And let's see, a trial or test made to find out about something. Yeah, it's usually done by the scientists to discover stuff, find stuff, invent stuff.
Victor leaned in to examine a container. A weird blob floated inside. It looked like a hairless rat. Victor said, what kind of experiments? The blobby thing in the jar flinched. Ah! Victor cried, jumping back. His arm bumped the jar. It fell to the floor. Crash! Be careful, Ned hissed. The guards will hear us. Some of the goo had splashed on Victor's hands. He wiped them on his shirt. Yuck, he said. It smells like rotten cheese.
Again, let's check the word splash here. It means to wet or soil by spattering with something wet. Oh, this is hard. You wouldn't understand that. Splash is basically a liquid like water dropping from somewhere and wetting some other stuff. For example, if you drink coffee, you can splash the coffee into your shirt. And yeah, it's basically like that. That example is quite good actually.
The boys heard a door slam somewhere in the building. Oh, great, whispered Ned. One of the guards heard you. What do we do now? Said Victor. Chapter 3. Escape. Quick, said Ned. Do you have a quarter? Victor dug into his pockets. Finally, he pulled out a coin. Here, he said. He dropped the quarter into Ned's palm. But why do you want... Shh, said Ned. Just keep quiet and follow me. The boys crept into the hall. They heard another door slam. They ran in the opposite direction. They tried to open each door along the hall, but all of them were locked. Except for one, a door with a sign on it. Keep out. Special science team only. Maybe the guard won't follow us in there, said Ned. Victor nodded. He pushed the door open. The boys rushed inside. Chapter 4. It's a trap. They heard the guard walk past the door. Ned held the quarter in.
So for example, walk past. Can we take them both? Okay, we can't, I guess. So let me explain. Walk past means it's just walking and going away. If you're hiding, if somebody walks passes you, they don't notice you. You are still hidden. It basically has that meaning for you. As simple as that.
In his fist. A moment later, he opened the door. He threw the quarter down the hall. It hit a far wall. Clink! They heard the guard rushing back the way he'd come. Ned quietly closed the door. Why'd you do that? Whispered Victor. To distract him, said Ned. If he keeps looking over there, he won't find us.
So let's check the word distract here. It's quite a good one. To draw a person's thoughts or attention to something else. So in our case here, our guy Ned throws a coin and the guard follows that. So it basically allows them to be hidden in that same location.
Victor sniffed. Hey, he said, what's that smell? It's making me hungry. Yeah, what is that? Asked Ned. Pizza? The boys walked farther into the room. They found another door. It was dark and made of metal. The smell's coming from in there, said Victor. They opened the metal door and entered. As it closed behind them, they heard a loud click. "It locked behind us," said Victor. "We're trapped." Chapter 5. Maze Runners. The locked door was made of steel. "We can't break that door down," Victor said. Ned gulped. "Not a problem," he said. "We'll just find another way out." As they looked around, they realized they were not in a room. Instead, it was a long, dark hallway. The hall was lined with lots of open doors. "That's weird," said Victor. "That smell is gone." Both boys stopped and sniffed. "I smell something else," said Ned, "and it stinks." "Let's get going," said Victor. "We gotta get out of here." The boys chose the first door on the left. They entered and found themselves in another hall. Even more open doors lined the walls. The boys went in another door. The same kind of hall awaited them. They entered door after door. Each one led to more halls with more doors. Soon, they hit a dead end. They had to go back and find another route.
So in here, dead end, that expression means nowhere. It just, as you can see here, it doesn't allow them to go anywhere. It's just, there is nothing there, basically.
The boys, after about an hour of walking, Victor gagged. "The smell!" he shouted. He pointed at the floor. A pile of round, smelly blobs lay there. Each blob was the size of a football. "Ew," said Ned. "That smells like dog poo." "I think that's exactly what it is," said Victor. "No dog is big enough to make those," said Ned. Roar! The boys looked up. Down at the other end of the hall, 2 red dots of light appeared. The red dots grew larger and larger. "What is that?" screamed Ned. A white, red-eyed rat bared its teeth. A wheel of cheese fell from its jaws. Its beady eyes examined the boys. Drool dripped from its incisors. They turned and ran. Ned and Victor should never have snuck into the lab. Sure, they were just curious. But you know what they say about curiosity.
The word curious, I think you know this one, but let's still check. It means eager to learn, showing an eagerness to learn, attracting attention by being strange or unusual. The definition is not that good, so I'll try to explain for you in simple terms. Curious basically means, for example, if there is a door right here and your mother or father tells you to not open it, if you open that door and want to see what's inside, that's your curiosity. That shows you as a curious person. It's basically like that.
Ned and Victor should never have Luckily, I heard the boys survived. They are helping the scientists with some brand new experiments. The scientists are learning a lot from their new lab brats.
Thank you guys for watching this video. As I told you before in the beginning, I will be posting, or one of your other teachers will be posting a Word document. They will send it to you via WhatsApp. I want all of you to open that Word document and write everything down into your notebooks. Yes, I want all of you to write everything in that Word document down to your notebooks. I will be explaining and giving examples of some words that you don't know the meaning of, so it will be quite helpful. And lastly, thank you guys again for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Stay at home and take care. Goodbye.